So on to an example of a word problem from 4.D.2. And I've got the mixed trick up here. We'll come back to in a second just to kind of highlight what that's saying. First of all, using Revessa, let's read through our problem. Michael finds a collection of 20 coins in his car consisting of nickels and dimes worth a total of $1.30. How many of each coin does he have? All right, so we've read it. Now remember the use step of unknowns. We know there's going to be 2. And so in this problem, just really look for what the question is. What don't we know? Well, how many of each coin? So there's 2 coins, nickels and dimes. So we'll say number of nickels is 1 unknown, and number of dimes is the other unknown. And remember, with the V step that follows, just going to call it X and Y. That's it. So that's all finished. Now we get to the creating of our equations. So this is where we'll have to rely on that little bit we talked about on the previous page. There's 2 bits of information in here. There's this information about the total number of coins, right? 20 coins. And there's information about the total value of those coins, $1.30. The mixed trick up here is telling us we want to make 2 equations here for this E step. Let's have one be describing the quantity of coins and one be describing the value. Well, the quantity one is pretty simple. Don't overthink it. Quantity. There's 20 coins, 20 total coins. We're saying that X is the number of nickels and Y is the number of dimes. So where does that 20 come from? It comes from X nickels plus Y dimes would give us that 20, right? We're saying the number of nickels plus the number of dimes is 20. That's exactly what that stands for. No value, right? No money numbers involved here, right? I don't care about the value of a nickel or a dime. I don't care about that $1.30. That's just talking quantity. But now, to talk about that $1.30, now we want to discuss the values of these coins, nickels and dimes. And going back to the line, the very last line from the previous page, with each nickel, we know they're worth 5 cents. And if I have 5 cents per nickel, so 5 cents times the number of nickels, and I add to that, for these dimes, 10 cents times the number of dimes, that should give me the overall value of coins that I found. And that overall value is $1.30. However, keep in mind, this 5 and 10 are in cents, right? That's your units here, cents. So $1.30, 1.30, we have to represent in that same unit of cents as the number 130. But that right there will give us our 2 equations for our system. And again, once we have that, we're on to the algebra part. We kind of leave the word problem behind for a little bit. I'm going to bring them down here just to kind of keep them organized the same way I was organizing the other ones. So for this particular problem, you could do substitution or elimination. It'd be pretty easy to set this up for substitution. However, we're going to go ahead and do elimination because it's already set up with x's and y's equal constants, which is what we want. So for elimination, or for the addition method, remember, same number but opposite sign on either the x's or the y's. Since x is 1 and 5, we could get them to both be 5s. Since y is 1 and 10, we could get them to both be 10s. I'll go with a smaller number. So to eliminate the x's, all I need to do is multiply this first equation, this top one. So this is a 1x. We want the same number, 5, but we want the opposite sign. So since it's a positive 1 right now, I'm going to multiply by a negative 5, turning that into negative 5x, also a minus 5y, and that'll be a negative 100. And the second equation, not changing it at all. And now we're ready for our elimination, or our addition step, where the x's go away. Negative 5y plus 10y will leave me with 5y, and that will combine to a 30. And then that last step to solve for our y gives us a y value of 6. Now that you've got your first variable, we take it back to find our second. Between the 2 equations, I'd much rather use this first one. So to take x plus y equals 20, you can almost maybe do it in your head, but we'll throw that 6 in for that y there. So x plus 6 has to equal 20, and then just subtract that 6 on over and get x equals 14. So we got our X and our Y, and right up here, the beauty of that UV step, as we keep pointing out, is it tells you what X and Y stood for. You got it right there, and so we can go back to the problem, make sure we kind of reread it. It does say how many of each coin, so we want both those numbers, and so we will just say something like there are, and if we go with the nickels first, nickels were the X, so there were 14 nickels, and Y was the dimes, so 6 dimes. And that is our solving and answering of our word problem.